we knew each other for quite a while. There was an issue coming up before the Juvenile Welfare Board, and that got Bernie's attention, and that got Senator Latvalla's attention. So I called Bernie and I go, would you be willing to be on the board? Because Senator Latvalla made it pretty clear that if Bernie didn't want to do it, Senator Latvalla wasn't going to do it. And Bernie said, yeah, I'll do it. He and I would differ on certain things, but we differed in a gentlemanly fashion. When things were rough, he would turn to me and go, Dillinger, you're the one that got me into this. And I would go, no, Bernie, you agreed to get into this. And it would go somewhat like that.
I can't remember a time in my life where I didn't know who Bernie McCabe was. He was such a larger-than-life figure. When I first got on the board, even though I had known Bernie for years and years, I was still pretty intimidated by him. As I got to know him and got to serve with him, I realized what a big teddy bear he really is, and really the heart of a public servant.
He was bigger than life in a lot of things to me. But what I did learn from being on the board is that he really did care about the community, that he was very much invested in his role as a board member. He was more than the state attorney. He actually had a soft part of him. To me, I think he was a big teddy bear.
Bernie would come in through the door, bigger than life, jovial, laughing, kidding, very fun-filled, but very focused on the meeting. What he cared about was that he was going to do what was best for the children of our community.
There's no doubt that my career was better because of Bernie. If there was something that I just wasn't sure of, I knew that I could just give a call over there. Always had time for me.
Always supportive of me, but still willing to explore the pluses and minuses of things. And I always knew his heart was in the right place, but that he had such a fine mind that would help me sort out any situation.
Bernie was so supportive of everybody that worked within the JWB network. He felt that he owed everyone his undivided attention and his loyalty.
I just really want to stress that he really cared for the youth of this community. The aspect of juvenile delinquency and the impact of poverty and truancy, he thought that all the children should have the same shot at success. And he would talk about the unfairness. He wanted to keep them out of adult prisons. He wanted to keep the youth in the juvenile system, and he wanted to make sure that those youth had the opportunity to avail themselves of the services that the taxpayers were paying for through JWB.
Bernie took on his involvement with the JWB as clearly a way of giving back to the children of this community, to ensuring that they had an opportunity to be whatever they wanted to be, and to be able to succeed no matter where they came from. Bernie just saw children in need.
Bernie was the best example all over Florida, all through his working life, of seeking justice and doing justice, caring about the kids, their future, their education, being in favor of rehabilitation of these children, such as the civil citation program and programs for juveniles who were charged with a sex offense so they could get some counseling.
He had his convictions, and the one thing he would never sway from was clearly his love of children and what he was there to do. And he felt that it was more than a job, it was his calling. He took on his role as a board member as a privilege.
I think that he actually cared and took pride in the job that he did as the state attorney, but also I think he took even greater pride as being a member of the Juvenile Welfare Board to make sure that we were accountable as the keeper of the funds for the citizens of Pinellas County and for those agencies that we serve.
I think he honored his time on the Juvenile Welfare Board. It was important to him. One of the favorite things he did was tell me that he knew that my working there was not just a job. And I appreciated that. It wasn't just a job for him either. I know that.
Talk about measurable outcomes. Bernie kept being a big proponent of it. Are the kids any better off? Do our dollars really count? And I have to say that to this day, when we talk about measurable outcomes, we didn't have anything like that when it started.
Bernie McCabe kept us all accountable at the Juvenile Welfare Board. And he kept us accountable not only to the taxpayers and to all of the ethical and legal responsibilities we had, but his timeless refrain was, we need to do what's right for kids.
Is this good for the kids? And a lot of that has to do with making sure the dollars were actually going to the children and to their development.
Bernie led that way, saying, look, what are we getting for our investment? What are we able to show this community that their tax dollars has helped? And that was a constant theme. It started almost from day one. The change from 20 years ago to today is incredible. I think the amount of data that is gathered shows the value of JWB. And I think Bernie would always feel very proud that the board and the staff working together.
Some words that I will remember Mr. McCabe by are firm but fair, steadfast, reliable, servant leader, compassionate, empathetic, and strong.
When I think of Bernie, the few words that come to mind first are accountable, and most importantly, is it the right thing for kids?
I think I would just say he was a big man with a big footprint that made an imprint and an impact by his commitment to service and to justice and to treating everyone fairly.
I think for children specifically, Bernie's legacy is going to be a firm foundation. He was very passionate about early childhood development and early childhood learning. He was also extremely interested in and required evidence-based metrics. What he was trying to do was to prevent children from being put into situations where their life would be altered by the criminal justice system. So a firm foundation and a brighter future, I think, are his legacy for children.
Bernie McCabe had a big heart for kids, and it was all about putting children first. And he worked so well with our long-standing public defender, Bob Dillinger. They worked together to have the best result for kids, and they supported the best programs for kids. And for Bernie McCabe, I think that was a terrific legacy.
He wanted what was best for the children. He wanted it done in a fiscally sound way, but in a caring way. And he wanted the youth that that did not have the same advantages that other youth in this community have. That's how I'll remember him, that he wanted to help youth succeed.
He genuinely cared about the children. He genuinely cared about the families. His memory will go down is that he was an advocate for all the families in Pinellas County.
I think I'll miss most the fact that I could always give him a call and run a tricky issue by him, and he would give me his honest and helpful answer.
His stick-to-itiveness and his conviction that no stone would get unturned, no one left behind, no child would go without a voice.
Whenever Mr. McCabe was around, you knew that things were going to be okay. His presence was comforting, and you knew that you could rely on him if things got tough. He was a rock of direction, of guidance. So I will miss that. I do miss that.
I will miss Bernie's presence in the community at places like Juvenile Welfare Board, places that serve kids, and his special relationship with Bob Dillinger.
I still miss him. We lost an advocate for the youth. I still think about calling him about things, and it becomes really, the pain really sinks in when you realize he's not there. I miss my friend. So it's like I always tear up at these things, and he always said, Dillinger, why are you so emotional? You know, I go, I'm sorry, Bernie, I can't help it. He goes, but I know it's because you care. And that meant a lot.